In a December 10 vote in Bosnia's ethnic Serb parliament, it was decided that Serbs would leave Bosnia's state institutions. In the midst of the heated debate, right-wing Serb nationalist leader Milorad Dodik received enough votes to support legislation to bring the Serbs out of the Bosnian army, courts and tax system. Within 6 months, these proposals could be recognized in law. Opposition lawmaker Branislav Borenović criticized the proposal, saying it meant conflict, war and death. He asks Dodik what the Republican Srpska army will represent. Where will the money for tanks and warplanes come from? What will be the conditions for setting up checkposts at the border? He asserted that his confession had been obtained through torture. The news of this decision of the Serbs in the international media is mentioned as an indication of the difficult future of Bosnia and the whole of the Balkans. Describing one of the world's most complex political systems, Euronews described the Bosnian state system. At the end of the Bosnian Civil War in 1995, the present-day state of Bosnia was born through the US-brokered Dayton Peace Accords. There are 2 separate administrative entities in this state. One is the Republic of Srpska with an ethnic Serb majority. The other is the Bosnian and Croatian Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Ethnic Serbs are predominantly Orthodox Christians. The Bosnians are predominantly Muslim. Croats are predominantly Catholic Christians. Both regions have been given a number of powers. However, the Bosnian central government controls some matters. Among them are the army, the Supreme Court and the tax collection structure. The head of the central government is the 3-member presidency. Its members are Bosnians, Serbs and Croats. They were elected separately by the people of the 3 nations. Its current Bosnian member is Shefik Zaferović, and Croatian member Jeliko Komšić. They have been urging Western countries to put pressure on Dodik and his supporters for their extremist nationalist behavior. According to the 2013 census, Bosnians make up 50% of Bosnia's approximately 3.3 million population. Serbs are about 31%, Croats make up about 15%. More than 100,000 people have died in the horrific civil war since the breakup of the former Yugoslavia in the 1990s. Terrible human rights violations took place in the middle of the war. The death of 6,000 innocent Bosnian Muslims at the hands of the Serbs, especially in the Bosnian town of Srebrenica, remains a horrific example. Milorad Dodik was elected president of the Republic of Srpska in a 2010 democratic vote. He held the post until he was elected a member of the Bosnian presidency in October 2016. During his tenure, he repeatedly called for the separation of the Republic of Srpska from the Bosnian state structure. In January 2016, the U.S. government announced the confiscation of Dodik's assets and banned any U.S. person or business from doing business with him because of threats to the Dayton Peace Accords. But Dodik said he did not care about the blockade. His nationalist rhetoric has intensified since he became a member of the Bosnian presidency. Euronews recalls that last September he announced plans to create a separate army, courts and tax structure in the Republic of Srpska. However, he acknowledged that their numbers were not enough to defeat Bosnia's government. In an article by the U.S. think tank Council of Foreign Relations or CFR, Charles Kupin says that according to the Dayton Accords, Bosnian politics is ethnic. And the new decision of the Serbs means nothing more than isolation. He says nationalism is now emerging throughout the Balkans. Neighboring Serbia is rapidly increasing its military budget, and its interior minister has called on all Serbs around the world to unite. Serbia has not yet recognized the Albanian Muslim-majority Kosovo, which seceded from Serbia in 1999 with NATO assistance, and yet Kosovo's relations with Serbia are quite bad. At the same time, Russia is exerting its influence among Orthodox Christians in the region, through which Russia is trying to keep the countries of Eastern Europe away from EU and NATO. In the meantime, the EU is not paying much attention to the Balkans, and the United States is busy with the Indo-Pacific. Tensions are running high with Russia. In that sense, it is possible Dodik's nationalist activities could lead to conflict if the Republic of Srpska secedes from Bosnia, which could spread beyond the Bosnian border. Kupan described the Balkan countries' development as a sign of EU and NATO membership. But while the democratically elected president of the EU and NATO member Hungary, Viktor Orban, is speaking out, the depth of the nationalist problem can be rekindled in the midst of European democracy. In a speech in Budapest, he said that if Bosnia was included in the EU, it could create security problems for the 2 million Muslims. At a news conference last December, Orban said he was providing financial support to the Republic of Srpska and was opposed to a blockade on Milorad Dodik. Orban called on Germany to embrace rather than punish Dodik's separatist activities. While democratically elected extremist nationalist leaders in Eastern Europe have raised the possibility of renewed conflict, the United States is preoccupied with the Indo-Pacific. They have no time to hold on to the Dayton Peace Accords, signed in the shadow of Washington in the 1990s. Within 3 decades in the Balkans, the U.S. political solution is crumbling democratically.